Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. And in this video, I'll give you an update on the latest comments from the White House economic advisor, Larry Kudlow. Now, I want you to approach this video with a grain of salt. I want you to try and smile because I call this another episode of the DC Comedy Hour. That's an acronym I came up with because I think what is happening is absolutely bizarre. I'll also tell you Larry Kudlow's salary, and I think it's actually going to blow your mind. If you were going to pay someone over $180,000 a year to say stuff that makes not too much sense, let's just put it that way, I think that you would agree that that was a rather unusual, just to put it mildly, a rather unusual use of taxpayer dollars. But before I get into that, my name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. Please check out my video. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. If you learned something new from this video, please consider clicking the like button. Please also ignite that subscribe button and please enable notifications, because remember, the name of our channel is Ignition Time. Let's just jump right in. On your screen, you'll see a new article from Bloomberg, which suggests that Goldman, the big firm, warns of more job losses with jumbo mergers on the rise. Remember, companies are merging, and when companies merge, so let's say one company has 100 employees and another company has 100 employees. When they merge, the company like, we don't need 200 employees, we only need 140, which means 60 people are let go. And so because of a lot of mergers that are happening right now, which is a direct result of some companies going out of business and other companies that have a lot of cash wanting to consolidate their operations with other companies that have related strengths, that's leading to mergers. But now these mergers are actually leading to job losses. And unfortunately, what is happening right now, and I'll provide you with a link to this article in the description section below. What is happening is this is actually going to affect the state of politics in our country as well, because according to Goldman Sachs Group President John Waldron, and he said this at a conference today, he said politicians are going to be faced with the uncomfortable reality that you're going to have more big businesses doing better, and then there's going to be more losses of jobs along the way. You are going to see a fairly sizable amount of large cap M&As, M&As meaning mergers and acquisitions, coming with stronger, healthier companies being the acquirer and taking advantage of weaknesses in their industry and elsewhere, which means that smaller players, smaller companies that are essentially trying to stay agile, trying to keep their costs low, they are the ones who are essentially going out of business because they don't have much savings, they don't have a lot of cash, and they get swallowed by larger companies. And in the process, individuals who join smaller companies with the hope of growing with the company, with the right intentions, with honesty, with integrity, they lose their jobs forever. It just breaks my heart to report this, but I want to report what is actually happening. Speaking of breaking my heart and reporting what is happening, here are some comments from the White House senior economic advisor, Larry Kudlow. Just so that you know, the White House pays Larry Kudlow $183,000 a year. Yep, $183,000 a year of your taxpayer funds are going to Uncle Kudlow. I just came up with that. I guess we could call him Uncle Larry, but I think Uncle Kudlow sounds sounds strange and weird, stranger and weirder. So the White House pays Larry Kudlow $183,000 a year. And this is what Larry Kudlow said today. The talk is that a lot of folks who became unemployed, most regrettably, they're sticking with it. Okay, how do you stick with unemployment? I guess it's something that you pick up on the street. You found, a chair, I don't know, outside a neighbor's house, and you took the chair. So his words, I kid you not. I couldn't make up some of this stuff if I wanted to, stuff that comes from Uncle Kudlow, because this is the DC Comedy Hour. Remember, I gave you a heads up. It is a DC Comedy Hour. I'm going to try and make light of this situation because, I don't want to break down on camera. The talk is that a lot of folks who became unemployed, most regrettably, they're sticking with it and going out and starting new businesses, according to Uncle Kudlow. That's the great part of American capitalism. Gales of creative destruction. Larry Kudlow said that gales of creative destruction are happening right now, where individuals who are unemployed are starting new businesses. Now, let me be clear. Do I think that it's a good idea to start a new business? Yes, absolutely. I own multiple businesses. And again, that's one of the reasons that I was able to achieve my American dream, and I want to help you achieve your American dream. But the manner in which Larry Kudlow talked about this just suggests a disconnect with the pain, the agony, the suffering, the intense, unbearable anguish of losing our jobs permanently. I think that emotional empathy, that connection with what is actually happening in the trenches is questionable. Is questionable at best. So Larry Kudlow said, if Speaker Pelosi wants a deal, we could round up enough Senate Republicans to get a deal. And you'll see a tweet on your screen from Jeff Stein, because Jeff Stein from the Washington Post reported this. If Speaker Pelosi wants a deal, we could round up enough Senate Republicans to get a deal. But let's go back to the other more important comment. And again, you'll see the tweet on your screen from Jeff Stein. The talk is that a lot of folks who became unemployed, most regrettably, they're sticking with it and going out and starting new businesses. That's a great part of American capitalism. Gales of creative destruction. I told you this was a DC comedy hour. And he also said something else that I thought was significant pertaining to the stimulus deal. You'll see this tweet on your screen from Jeff Stein of the Washington Post. And this is a comment from Larry Kudlow. Okay, it doesn't matter who's reporting it. It matters what the official said. The important thing here is you only got 18 days before the election. So even if you made a deal, it would be almost impossible to execute. Maybe some of it could be executed, but you certainly couldn't get a grand, large deal. So those are comments from Larry Kudlow. We'll provide you with all our sources. We'll provide you with the links to all of our material in the description section below, as we do with every video. And a few senior sources in DC on Capitol Hill told Politico that a relief deal would have to be in hand today, with votes scheduled next week to make the deal work and make something happen quickly. And let's not forget that Senate Republicans have zero appetite. Specifically, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has zero appetite for a $1.8 trillion deal. And so you can imagine that the chances of a stimulus deal at this moment in time are dwindling, and the results of the election will play a key role in what happens next in stimulus. So let's hear from Uncle Kudlow ourselves. Let's watch the segment where he said some of these rather interesting things. And Larry Kudlow was specifically asked on Fox Business Today about, what's likely as far as the stimulus is concerned, where we're going to go. And he said that there are only 18 days left, and his exact words were, it's almost impossible to execute grand stimulus before the election. And then Larry Kudlow talked about repurposing money that was already there in the CARES Act. He was subsequently asked, hey, why is it so complicated to repurpose the money? And he did point out that this does take congressional approval. So we'll watch all of those segments. But first, let's see the latest comments from the White House senior economic advisor. By the way, I want to emphasize that the previous White House Chief of Staff, Mike Mulvaney, specifically said that the White House put Larry Kudlow on Fox Business when they wanted the market to go up. And you'll see that in the second segment, Larry Kudlow wants to talk about something specific. And you'll see how all of this ties together in terms of the messaging strategy of the White House about the future of the economy and about trying to keep the markets propped up. It'll make sense when you watch both the segments. Let's watch the first segment where Larry Kudlow talks about the chances, the probability of a stimulus deal before the election. Let's roll the tape.
The president wants to go up from 1.8 trillion. Mitch McConnell says, no, can't sell that to Republicans, and Speaker Pelosi's having nothing to do with it. So it occurs to me that the chances of getting a really big stimulus package before the election are slim and none. What say you?
Well, look, I don't want to conclude anything. I was on the phone with Secretary Mnuchin for a while last evening talking about it. He was on the phone with the speaker for 90 minutes, but the important point here is you only got, what did you say, 18 days.
Yeah.
So even if you made a deal, it would be almost impossible to execute. Maybe some of it could be executed, but you certainly couldn't get a grand, large deal. I mean, here's just one thought, Stuart. There's over $300 billion that is unspent from the prior rescue package. Okay, 300 billion plus. Now, that money could be going into unemployment assistance, You know, we had an executive order, but it's not going to last forever. That money could be going into PPP, small business loans. That money could be going into airline relief that everyone agrees on. So all they have to do is appropriate it.
Now, in the second segment of the interview, Larry Kudlow was specifically asked about why is it so difficult to reallocate these $300 billion. And like I said, he did say that it does require congressional approval, which it does. He's right about that. The president can't just, sign some executive orders and snap his fingers and reallocate the money. The money has to be reallocated by an act of Congress. In other words, by bills that are then signed into law by the president. So he did talk about that. But then Larry Kudlow said something that was very interesting. He said, let's talk about something that is topically more exciting. Let's talk about the retail sales numbers. He actually said those words. And then he goes on to talk about how the economy is recovering. In his opinion, this is a V-shaped recovery. I've talked about this on my channel before. This is not a V-shaped recovery. This is a K-shaped recovery. Some individuals, specifically the individuals with graduate degrees or higher, individuals who can work remotely, individuals with higher paying jobs have recovered, whereas individuals in travel, entertainment, leisure, hospitality, individuals with low paying jobs, individuals who have less than a high school diploma are being left behind. But Larry Kudlow does proceed to paint an optimistic picture of the economy. And let's roll the segment and see what he had to say.
You've got the money. You've got $300 billion.
Yeah.
Has it not been appropriated? Is that the problem?
That's correct. It has to be redone.
Why can't you appropriate it?
Well, it takes legislative and political will to do it. I mean, they're bickering. So Secretary Mnuchin gave ground, quote unquote, I'm not sure what that means, on this national testing strategy. Yep. But with a few edits left to do. But he's saying, what does that mean? We've had HHS guidelines for 6 or 7 months. It's the states who do the implementation. In other words, the goalposts are moving. You get to this point, and then something else happens around. The president wants a deal. Secretary Mnuchin is negotiating a deal. If Speaker Pelosi wanted a deal, I think we could round up enough Senate Republicans to get a deal. But 3 weeks to go, less than 3 weeks to go. I don't know. It's much more exciting for me. Well, first of all, Stuart, it's always exciting to speak to you on a Friday morning. But it's much more exciting, topically, it's much more exciting to talk about the blowout in retail sales.
I knew you were going to get to that. You're a genius.
Blowout.
You're a broadcasting genius because you can convert an interview directly to where you want it to go. And look, I do agree with you. That was a very strong retail sales report, and it implies that the recovery is on track and doing very nicely.
Yes,
so again, can I press you again? You've said that the third quarter, we've finished with the third quarter. We're going to see, 35% gain over the second quarter. That's terrific. But let me press you again. What growth rate do you expect in the fourth quarter?
Well, I think preliminarily, looking at these early numbers for October, retail sales was for September, I get that. But other trends, I mean, here's one of my favorite indicators. It used to be obscure, but it's not anymore. New business applications are soaring at record pace. There was a story in the Wall Street Journal about it, and I saw something else today. One of the smart Wall Street people are talking about it. And it's an odd thing because the talk is that a lot of folks who became unemployed, all right, most regrettably, but they're sticking with it and they're going out and starting new businesses. They're going to be small businesses. But that's the great part of American capitalism. Gales of creative destruction. I just love that new business startup story. So to answer your question, I would say preliminarily, Stuart, give me 10%. I'll start that bidding at 10% for Q4, which would be fabulous. That means the second half would have one of the greatest comebacks in American economic history. And if we have continued policies of low taxes and low regulations, etc., 2021 sets up to be a blowout year. It can be a blowout year. So we'll see. But for heaven's sakes, you got $300 billion, help the unemployed, help the small businesses, help the airlines, help the kids' COVID-related school openings. We want to keep everything open. Schools must remain open, or they must reopen. Businesses must remain open, or more of them must reopen. That's the key.
I will continue to report to you what's important, what's relevant to your financial future. Please check out our playlists. Please check out the Managing Your Money playlist. Please check out the Unemployment Benefits Crash Course. Please check out the different playlists as they pertain to helping you get to the next level financially. Definitely check out all our playlists because you'll now understand the full value of what we can offer you at Ignition Time as we help you prepare for the new economy. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Also, you'll find again the links to all our sources in the description section below. If you learned something new, please, your vote of confidence in us is you clicking the like button, you subscribing, you enabling notifications. Also, you can do one more thing. Please share this video with friends and family members. That would mean a lot to us. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. I really appreciate you watching our channel and giving us your time. That means a lot to us. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. Remember, you can get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time to 70,000. That's 70000. You'll get added to SMS alerts list. You can also get added to our email list. Go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts, and you'll get added to our email list. Now, keep in mind that you can follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. You get exclusive content if you follow us on Instagram. You can also follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is also ignition_time. That's ignition_time. You'll get breaking news and alerts from us on Twitter. Now, keep in mind, YouTube does not always send out notifications on time. So all you have to do is simply bookmark youtube.com/ignition time. That's youtube.com/ignition time. And then you'll be able to visit our homepage, watch our videos at any point in time that you want. Thank you so much for watching. You'll get the links to all our resources in the description section below. So make sure you check them out. Also, please comment and engage with us in our community because our community is growing very rapidly and you are an important part of our community, an important part of our family. Finally, please make sure to share this video with friends and family members. That's your vote of confidence in us and all the efforts that go on behind the scenes here at Ignition Time. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.